Good evening and welcome to Sip and Share with Queen D. Michelle, where I, and maybe you, will sip and for a few minutes, I'll share. I want to jump right into the sharing today um, because I'm excited to get to this. I think it's really important that we connect the dots. Um, Last week, I talked about alignment with your soul self and how that felt to be aligned with you and you. I said to not be aligned, it feels, or you would feel, if you're not aligned with your soul self, you can feel irritated, be easily irritated, agitated, stressed, feeling separated, oppressed, depressed, unheard, unnoticed, alone, tense, unsure, not focused. All of that is characteristics of not being aligned with your soul self. Being aligned with your soul self feels good. It feels like ease, like flow, like the universe has your back. Like there's this sacred alliance that comes from within. You feel invincible. And like everything works together for your good. You feel this sense of forward movement. And you're really excited about greeting the day. Can't wait for for the next day. You're excited and ready to greet, eager to greet the day. That's how you feel when you're aligned with your soul self. Alignment is holding a vibration that matches your highest good. Now, how can we hold once we maintain, once we are aware and are aligned with our soul self? How can we maintain that? Now, we are always eternally connected to our soul self. We could be unaware of that connection. We could be unconscious of that connection. But we are, whether we know it or not, eternally connected. So, to all that is, to source energy, to God, to consciousness, to Allah, to Jehovah, whatever you call it, we are eternally connected. But we can be unconscious and not aligned. But once we are aligned, how do we maintain that alignment? Now, to understand how one could calibrate their frequency, because holding a vibration that matches your highest good is alignment. Holding a vibration that matches your highest good is alignment. So how do we hold that? Now, to understand how one can calibrate their frequency, and you'll hear me say that, and that basically calibrating your frequency basically means getting in alignment, shifting your vibration so that you are in alignment. In order to calibrate your frequency or to know how to do that, you must first have the understanding or knowing that we are energy. We are part of one consciousness, source energy, God. that is eternal, never created or destroyed, only transformed. Now, the longer one holds that higher vibration, that higher state of consciousness, which I call New Earth, the more natural it'll feel to resonate there, to resonate in New Earth, and unnatural to resonate in those lower frequencies. Now, calibrating or shifting one's frequency to a higher state of consciousness, in other words, aligning, is a calculated action. First and foremost, one has to recognize they've been triggered and is gaining momentum in the direction of lower frequencies or lower vibrations. Okay, you got to know when you're triggered so that you can get back to maintaining that alignment with your soul self. Okay, so let me tell a story. This will kind of help. I was talking to my girlfriend not too long ago, and she was telling me, she was so excited. She was telling me that she was invited to from an acquaintance. She was invited to have drinks with a group of friends. Now the timing was off, but so she respectfully declined. However, somehow that invite was a trigger. And what I mean by that, she began gaining momentum as I'm talking to her on the phone. She begins gaining momentum um, in negative thoughts. Like, I haven't been invited to an adult event since last year. And, I really don't have any real friends. And, I don't have this and I don't have that. And no one ever does this and no one ever does that. And off she went down that slippery slope of gaining momentum with every thought into lower frequencies. Okay. Now, I was on that downward ride with her because I was listening to her. However, I was only there as an observer. Okay. I wasn't a participant, I was just an observer. And had I tried to just put brakes on it, make a full stop in this momentum that she had going, it would not have been helpful. If I tried to slam on brakes or put up a brick wall and say things in complete opposite of what she's saying, because momentum is going. So the momentum was too strong in the opposite direction. Therefore, I reached for the closest, best statement of truth that would hopefully bring about the best possible feeling for her in that moment. In that moment. See, anger is softer than hate. And dislike is softer. It's a softer vibration than resentment. So I started offering up softer vibrations, in that same realm, but there were softer vibrations. I assisted in slowing the descent instead of attempting to stop it altogether. I countered with softer statements, sort of like pumping the brakes or priming the pump. So I said things like, and excuse me if I'm sounding a little nasally, because I am. There we have it. Okay, so I started saying things like, I wonder if that invite was a trigger that's bringing up some things that need to be acknowledged or felt and released. Oh, you're not angry. Then, then what are you feeling? Oh, you resent. So you really do have this, and oh, you really do have that. Well, that's not so bad, huh? That's all right. That seems fair. That's better. That's okay. You're all right. See, by the end of the conversation, she wasn't completely back in resonance with New Earth, but she had slowed the momentum down and was herself reaching for better feeling thoughts and gaining momentum that way. Now, see, when a person's only objective is to feel good, in other words, knowing that their energy, they will protect their energy and their peace is most important. The protection of their energy and their peace. So, when a person's objective is to feel good, then what they would do, no matter what, they'll reach for the closest feeling of better than where they were vibrating from. Okay, they're not going to try to get way there. They're just going to reach for the closest feeling, thought of better, and begin gaining momentum in that way. Um, so that helps working it that way or manipulating it that way helps to calibrate your frequency back to being in the state of consciousness of New Earth, a New Earth state of consciousness. So, recognizing where you are at any given moment on the spectrum, it takes practice and coupled with a toolkit of methods to assist you with your calibrations, a toolkit that helps you to shift your frequency and get back to a state of consciousness that's New Earth, maintaining that alignment with your soul self, being in that state of consciousness that's New Earth. So, what's in your toolkit? Or do you have one? Hmm. We'll talk about that next week. I appreciate you so much for stopping by. Listen, this platform was developed or was created as a space to just drop some nuggets, have a minute to sip and share. All of my information, this sip and share platform it stems from my brand, which is called Considerations of the Soul. And under that brand or within that brand is a website, www.considerationsofthesoul.com, books and blogs, a master empowerment course, uh, sip and share, and a workbook is on the way. But all of that information, and if you want to hit me up on Facebook, please do. Like my Facebook page, my Instagram page, and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, all of that. All that information is in the comments. So I'm going to go work on this. What is going on, right? And hope to see you next week. And as always, one light, one love. See you next week.